Alright guys, yo, what up? So, continuing with my review of Arrow. This is a review of the series premiere of Flash, the fastest man alive. Now first let me start by saying I've seen that episode that aired Tuesday. I honestly saw it back in like June, June, back when it leaked online. So I had seen that episode months advanced of it airing, and so I loved it back then. I just didn't do a review on it because I honestly didn't want to do a review on something that technically nobody actually was supposed to have seen yet. So I'd seen that leaked episode, but it didn't stop me from watching the premiere Tuesday night. So I still watched it even again. And actually, I watched it a third time too on Hulu. So I really liked the premiere of The Flash. I liked it back then, and I still like it now. Now, for you don't know, everybody. Now, if you're a comic book fan, and most people, even if you're not, you know who The Flash is. The fastest man alive, the fastest man in the DC universe, and yes, he is faster than Superman. Don't deny it. It's already been proven fact. The Flash is coming from a Superman guy. The Flash is faster. Simple as that. They may have tied before, but trust me, when the Flash goes full force, not even Superman can catch him. So, of course, we start out with Barry. Basically, the first episode starts out with Barry being Barry, basically working as a crime scene investigator. Which, here's the thing, if you saw the Arrow crossover, you already knew a lot of that stuff, that Barry was basically a crime scene investigator who worked with the Star City Police. The Central City Police. And of course, then we got to the point where he gets struck by lightning, but we had actually seen that. Then we finally get to continue from those points. We get to continue from the point where he wakes up and starts to realize, boom, man, I got some kick-ass powers. And I actually like the way they did this. When you're working with television, it's different from movies. When you're trying to origin story with the character, because you can't really, like with the movie, a lot of times you get either like a 2 hour and a 20-minute or 15-minute movie, and like the first 50 minutes of the movie or 40 minutes, they focusing on backstory and origins. With the television show, you can't really do that because for the most part, you basically only have about 41 minutes of television time to air a show. So you gotta kind of move things along at a pace. I mean, of course, you know that in television world, days and months and stuff have passed, or weeks have passed. Like from the cuts to the commercial to the cuts back, a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week could have passed from those time periods. But I like the way they paced this. In terms of like giving you an origin story without making it boring and without making it feel rushed. I like the way they did it. And for television, this works. For movies, it doesn't, but for television, that type of pacing works fine. And I like the guy who's playing the Flash. Some of the things I love the scene where they're at the airfield, and for the first time, they're testing out to see how fast he can go. And biggest thing I gotta give credit to is they did a good job for this being on television, which that was always my worry, is how will he look at super speed? How will they make the streaks look? And for television, I think they've done a pretty good job. I mean, you can't expect Superman or Avengers or freaking Thor type graphics or Star Wars type graphics and stuff when you're watching a television show. You can't expect that. But I think for television wise, I think the graphics, I think they look good, and I think they did a good job for that. And I really liked how the way they made the red streak go. And it'll be cool to see the Flash do more and more now that we've gotten out the origin episodes and we've moved on. Now, cons and pros. Of course, you have you have Iris, which now is black. Because we live in a world where we have to be politically correct about everything, and if there's not a black person on something, it's racist. That's really the way it goes. It kind of drives me nuts. I mean, same thing with the whole Fantastic Four thing. There's no reason to change his race other than the movie's racist if it doesn't have a black person. There's really no reason to change his race for that. There's no really reason to change the race here, but I'm not going to harp on it crazy like I would with Fantastic Four, which I think that was stupid for changing the race. But yeah, not too big of a deal, but kind of gets starting to really get annoying. It gets annoying after a while. Everything's got to be politically correct I miss the days when you didn't have to be like that. I mean, just because you don't have somebody or certain people or a certain race on it does not make the show automatically racist. Maybe they don't fit. Maybe the character doesn't fit. It's called honoring the source material. It's not being racist. It's called being honest to the actual source material and respectful. But not too big of a deal. I'll let it pass. Whatever. But of course, you know that this whole soon destined that she's going to find out that he's Flash sooner or later. But it's going to be interesting to see where this progression moves along. There's talks of Booster Gold. That would be pretty cool, seeing him join the team, seeing him on the show. Who knows? Maybe he could become an ally down the road to Flash. And as I said in my Arrow review, kind of feels like they keep with Arrow, with Captain Atom, talks to Booster Gold, with Flash, that they're kind of gearing up to create a super team. And with like I said, with Amanda Waller, it's kind of that point because she obviously will know about Barry, and I can easily see August, Amanda or Waller being on Flash because you already know that she knows about this. Amanda Waller in the comics, she knows about all the superheroes. She knows who they all are. She knows all their identities. Simple as that. She knows everything, but she's also a bitch at the same time. And if you read the comics, nobody actually likes her. But yeah, it feels like that's where they're hinting towards. But that could be cool someday. I mean, see all these superheroes on TV would be kind of cool. I mean, in all honesty, Warner Brothers does a hell of a lot better at television than they do at movies. Let's just face the facts there. Other than The Dark Knight and The Man of Steel, we've been really slow in terms of our DC cinematic universe. But I guess Batman and Superman is supposed to be our savior to fix all that. Hopefully it's a great movie, and who knows? And hopefully it does bring in an era of new DC, of seeing more DC characters like Wonder Woman and all of them. But I'm getting off topic there. But yeah, first episode of The Flash I loved, and the ending, I like that. Now, a lot of people I've talked to, and I've seen comments, people who saw that ending, and they see the crisis on Earth. A lot of people don't know what that means. They just think that all of a sudden this guy's from the future. Just a heads up for people who don't know it. Crisis on Earth is basically taken from the Infinite Crisis story, which is the crisis on Infinite Earth, where basically many superheroes end up dead or end up missing during this crisis, where it's basically like a crisis of the multiverse. And many different Flash, Batman, Supermans, Wonder Woman, Supergirls, Batgirls, all these people basically are mixed into this huge crisis. Now, granted, are they ever going to get to that? I don't think so. That would take many seasons, and let me tell you something. To do a Crisis on Infinite Earth on television, that would require a movie, that would require an Avatar type budget to do that on TV, and it's not going to happen. No television studio is going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to do a Crisis on Infinite Earth type of thing. While I would love to see that, that won't happen. But it is a cool tidbit and Easter egg for us comic book fans and stuff. And I know the whole thing is he Professor Zoom? I think he is. Either that or he's a descendant possibly of him. But I think he's definitely tied into Professor Zoom, because it's obvious Professor Zoom is who killed Barry's mother. But yeah, overall, first episode of The Flash was cool. It's cool to see while DC's been slow on this movie screens, but it's cool to see these shows popping up on television. It's cool to finally see The Flash on something. I mean, for years, I saw Quicksilver in the theater before they even had a Flash thing, but it's cool to finally see The Flash get some respect as a character. He's an awesome character. I'm really interested to see where they go with this. It's cool that we're doing it's cool. And it's cool the way they're doing this is he's actually the Flash, opposed to Smallville, which I could not stand. Where it was, to me, I never felt like that was actually Superman. It was just basically some team bullshit with a guy with superpowers on a farm. Never really was too big of a fan of Smallville. I know it had a huge following, but as a Superman guy, I just didn't like it. Probably the only Superman thing I didn't like. I love the Reeves films, minus the last two films, and I love Man of Steel. Not so much Superman Returns, but you know what I'm saying. Those actually still feel like Superman films. Smallville didn't feel like a Superman thing. That was just me. So I like it where we have the Flash being super, and it'll be interesting to see how this is he plays the character in terms of personality. Because Barry has that sometimes wisecracking personality. Him and Lantern have always had that beef. Now, too bad. It's a shame that Green Lantern, we'll never see Green Lantern on television, because a Barry Allen and Green Lantern working team up type thing would be really cool, since we already know these guys are great friends in the comics. But that's a little too much, and that would require a lot of money to do Green Lantern on television. A lot of money. Doing, especially with the ring and the whole manipulating thing, it would require way too much money. That'd be like doing Superman on television. I mean, and we have Supergirl coming. That's going to be interesting to see how they handle Supergirl. And I will probably watch that. It's finally nice to see Supergirl getting some. It's nice to see it's nice to see these characters getting some recognition for once, like Flash, Supergirl. But I would really like to see these guys on the movie screen too. So Warner Brothers, please do not fail us on Batman and Superman. I'd like to see these characters get some screen time too, but that's fine. But yeah, first episode of The Flash I thought was great, and I'm going to continue watching. That's an automatic. I'm interested to see when they what the crossover episode is going to be. I'm interested to see in the villains for The Flash, because now we're dealing with unlike Arrow, we're dealing with with superpowers now. Now we're dealing with super beings, and when you're dealing with super beings, you can do a lot of cool stuff. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle the villains and handle stuff with The Flash. So, the season premiere of The Flash, I would have to give it unlike movies, I'm going to do the split between. I'm going to give it an 8.8. Give it an 8.8. Liked premiere, some things I didn't like about it, but overall, solid Flash premiere, and it'll be cool to see some more of the fastest man alive, Barry Allen. So, leave some comments below. You watch The Flash, you watch Arrow, you watch both. What do you think of the premieres of both? The season 3 premiere of Arrow, which I accidentally saw in the last video. Actually, I kept saying season 4, season 3. Sorry about that. But yeah, what do you think of the premieres of both of them? If you watch both of them, if you know, what do you think of the premiere of The Flash? Leave some comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.